she started as a school teacher, right? And so she is actually currently earning a 6-figure monthly income, and she did that all by the age of 29. So Sarah Robbins is a #1 distributor and top earner in her network marketing company. So she's a teacher by trade, and so while she loved teaching kindergarten and first grade, she was actually faced with losing her job due to the struggling economy. Also affected by the local economy was her husband's landscape construction business. So they decided to pursue extra income, and her search led her to network marketing. She began working her network marketing business part-time alongside her teaching career. So out there to all those women and men who are trying to work their Beachbody business and work a full-time job, it's possible. And to her surprise, she actually surpassed her teacher's salary by the end of that school year and was able to retire from teaching. Again, by the age of 29, she was earning a 6-figure monthly income in network marketing. She retired her husband, Phil, from his construction business 35 years early, so they could work their business together. Now they are top earners in their company and enjoy traveling the world together. And the best part is that both Phil and Sarah are now fulfilling their lifelong passion of helping others. They now are able to give more than they used to make combined. He has dreams of starting a camp for children. She has a heart to help women and children in need. And they're building an orphanage for 100 children in India this year, thanks to the time and resources that network marketing has offered them. Their lives have been transformed in so many ways. And what's even more amazing is seeing the lives that have been transformed by their growing businesses. As a former teacher, Sarah now has a passion to share her success system with others to help them learn and grow in their business. And so she shares this system in her best-selling book, which we talked about, Rock Your Network Marketing Business. And tonight, she's going to teach us some of her top tips on how to help you rock your business. So Sarah, go ahead and take it away.
Well, hey guys, I hope you can hear me okay. I am so excited to be on. Somebody want to give me a shout and tell me if you can hear me, and we'll go ahead and get started. All right, yay, woohoo, all right. So hey, I promise to make it worth your time and well worth your wait. You guys are patient, and I tell you what, it's amazing. As another leader in network marketing, I was listening to Melanie. Keep her cool and keep the camaraderie going and the culture going on the team. So you have an incredible leader, and you all are amazing rock stars. I'm so excited to spend some time with you this evening. And I will tell you this, I was sharing with Melanie, just because of all the technical difficulties of streaming me in, I'm going to give you some of my time just for a Q&A tonight. So in a bit after the training, type out some of your questions, and Melanie can just choose some and read some to me, and we'll go till the top of the hour. How about that? So I'll try to be brief and, talking at you and allow for some interaction at the end too. But thank you again, Melanie, for having me on. And thank you to your team of rock stars for plugging in and committing to rock their business. So I'm going to be sharing with you just a couple of my tips for success, and really what I believe, a very simple, straightforward message of what I believe will help you to rock your business. And as I'm talking to you, Melanie, if at any point you can't hear me or anything's going on, just shoot me a quick text message. That'll probably be the easiest way for me to stay in contact with you and stay focused on the message tonight. So, a lot of times people ask me, okay, Sarah, you've had great success, and obviously at the ripe old age of 29 was earning 6 figures a month, and people say how? And I'll just tell you this, that those were back in the days. I was one of the first distributors in my company where we didn't have training programs. I had no mentor or support system. We didn't even have a compensation plan yet. And so really for me, it was coachability and goal setting and daily activity that were the keys to my success. Goal setting and accountability has been a huge key for me. My husband and I, we always work on our goals together, and we talk about all of the areas of our life that we want to grow. And one of the goals for my network marketing business is to recruit a few new distributors every single month. So how will I get there? Well, there's no secret to success in network marketing. When you want your volume to grow, when you want your title to grow, you have to go into a recruiting blitz yourself. New people always bring new activity and growth. So just like weight loss. I can't say, well, I want to lose 10 pounds this month without tracking my activity, right? My exercise, my eating, the amount of water that I'm drinking. And the same is true with my network marketing business. I can't say that I want to recruit 2 people this month and just wait for it to happen without keeping track of how many people that I'm inviting and prospecting and plugging in and following up with. So I've been keeping track of my daily activity for quite some time. So my goal is to talk to a few new people every single day. Now, this is not calling back the same people over and over again, but this is talking to new people that I've never spoken to before, in addition to following up with people as well. Why? Well, if you follow my blog, then you heard me share the story. It was actually day 1 of our 30-day challenge. So if you go to my blog at sarahrobbins.com, and on the blog section, you can actually search 30-day challenge. Just type in 30-day challenge, 30-day challenge. When you type that in, if you go all the way back down to day 1, I told a story about one of my friends in the industry. His name is Richard Brook. And, he's very active in the DSA. He owns a company. He works with a lot of top leaders in the industry. And he gave a really great example. He said, imagine this. Imagine if you invited just 2 new people every day to hear more about your business. Now, that's a low average. I coach 3 to 5 for my team. But let's say that you invited 2 new people every day to hear more about your business. If you did that, you would have actually generated 14 invitations a week. You're inviting 14 people a week to hear more about your business. Now, he said on a low average, this is going to lead to 3 people who agree, okay, I'll join you on a call or to coffee or at your next meeting or event. Now, on average, and this is just industry averages, on average, one of those 3 will usually enroll to build. So if you did this each week, this would lead you to 4 new business partners every month, and about 50 a year, and over 100 over the next 2 years. Now, on average, if you enrolled 100 people over the next 2 to 3 years, in 4 to 5 years, you would likely generate a multi-million-dollar organization with a potential 6-figure plus income. Now, this is based on industry averages. This could be about a $2 million asset to you. And these averages can be true when you pick any legitimate company with an average product. You've got a great company, a great product. So over the course of the next few years, I really followed this pattern. And by time I recruited over 100 people, I was earning a 7-figure income. Now, again, your results may vary depending on your progress and pace, and of course, the progress and pace of those who join you too. But I want to challenge you to really get focused in on inviting a few new people every day to take a look at what you do. Product opportunity. Now, you're thinking, okay, so who do I talk to? What do I say, right? Now, I share all those tips in my book, but here's the thing. If I told you that you'd get paid $500 per invitation, you would find a way to invite 2 people per day to hear more about what you do, with or without training on how to do it. Come on, guys, let's be real. If I literally said right now, I've got $500 cash for anybody that you call right now to share your business with, I want you to literally shout it out. Who would do it, with or without training? Shout it out. I know you guys would. With or without training on how to do it, I'd be racking it up saying, okay, I could make $5 grand right now if I told 10 people about what I do, right? I mean, come on, it's true. So, that's the thing is, you wouldn't care how you got them, who it was, or you wouldn't even worry about what to say. You would find a way if there was value in the invitation. But there is value in every invitation you make. The question is never where to find people. We're surrounded by people. The question is, are you willing to talk to them? Your willing to has to be greater than your wanting to. And I'm going to say that again. Your willing to has to be greater than your wanting to. You're going to have to be willing to talk to people and invite them to learn more about your business every single day. So let's go back to my analogy. If you consider the potential of growing your business to a $2 million asset, then your 1,400 invitations, those 2 a day for 2 years, would each actually be worth $1,400 a piece. That's right. It's much more than the $500 that I initially offered you. So what does that tell you? There's great value in every invitation you make. So it's time to get into massive action and reach out to those few new people every single day. Get out, go where the people are. Reach out to people on your list. Reach out to people on Facebook. Go out, meet new people, network, invite, invite, invite. I personally am focused on doubling my business over the next 2 years, so I'm going to be inviting a minimum of a few new people every single day to learn more via coffee, call, meeting, event. I want to recruit 100 new people over the next 2 years. So I don't know about you. If anybody else wants to join me, I'd love to have you take that challenge with me. Actually, in fact, I developed that 30-day challenge as a way to keep myself and my team accountable. So here's the thing, accountability and activity, it is the cure to what ails you in your network marketing business. You know, and I say this kind of jokingly, but kind of true as well. If you don't like your team, you've got to go out and recruit a new one, right? Don't blame your progress or pace or lack thereof on your team, right? You have to take personal responsibility for what's going on and respect where they're at. No amount of motivating is going to motivate the unmotivated. So I got into activity at myself and I set a goal to recruit 10 and I did it. And when I recruit those 10, I was like, wow, you know, it's a lot of new people at once. What do I do? How do I get them off to a fast start? And I really started to hone in on the most important things to get new people into action and keep them and keep me from getting overwhelmed and get them off to a rockin' start. Now, I want to share with you what I'm about to share are just core principles of what it takes to build big in network marketing. They're timeless, they're universal. You're going to stick to the awesome system that your company and that Melanie has put into place for you. These are just 5 things, 5 focuses to really hone in when starting new people strong. Again, this is just going to complement and help you hone in on some of the skill sets that are already included in your systems. I call it 5 first to focus on when you're launching a new distributor strong. Now, I saw all of you that chimed in and said that this was your first training call. So welcome and congratulations to all of you. So what does this mean for you? These are 5 things that I really want you to focus on when you're getting started in your business. All right, so the first thing to focus in on is power partner together with your team members from day one. I like to set enrollment appointments with my distributors as I'm getting them started. I always say, hey, good leadership starts from the very beginning. We're going to enroll you together. We're going to do a website walkthrough together. I'm going to show you how to place an order, where to get your training, etc. Now, if you guys are hip on taking before and after pictures, because I know that you have a product where people can definitely see visible results, then coach people on doing that too, because nothing sells a product more than a story or a testimonial or just seeing visible results with before and after pictures. Then you might want to send them a little welcome email, a little shout out, if you will, and give them all of the information that they need. Anything that you think that they'll need from the company and from the team, all in one place, and give them some homework. I don't believe in sending people a bunch of busy work. For me, I want to get them right into income producing activities. So I'll say, you know what? I want you to start dreaming. I want you to start thinking about the top people that you have on your candidate list. Who would you dream of sharing the business with? Who would you love to get on the products? Go through your phone, go through your Facebook, any memory joggers or ways to, you know, that they can think of these names, any ideas that you have for them, send it to them and tell them, write down every single solitary name. Don't prejudge. I'm sure you guys have stories of people in your company who have prejudged and somebody else recruited them and it was a big story. You read about the one in my book, My $50 Million Mistake, the lady that I used to work for that literally was so well networked, very successful. I kept putting off calling her and somebody else in my organization did, and invited her to a meeting where I was the guest speaker. And in she walks and my stomach and my jaw hit the ground. She ended up joining us and being the #1 recruiter in the company. Ouch. Shoulda, woulda, coulda. I am thrilled for them. Sad for me. I only have to learn those mistakes once. So I share those stories with my newbies. And if you have any stories like that to share from your company, your team, share them. And just say, it's one of the most valuable lessons we've learned is not to prejudge. You don't know what people's hopes, dreams, desires, their financial situations are. It's just your job to share. It's their job to decide. Now, we'll talk about how to reach out to them. I don't want you to worry about how or what you're going to say. For now, just write down those names. That list is going to keep growing. Keep it by your bed. Now, the second thing that you're going to do is step 2 of your 5 things that you really want to focus in on first is set a time to go through that contact list with them. Now, on that first training appointment or the second time that you chat or after the enrollment appointment, we talk a little bit about goal setting and we go through their contact list together. It's really important that you find out what your newbie's reason why is. By newbie, I mean your new distributor, your new team members, okay? So we talk about their reason why. We talk about their immediate goals and any company goals that they can go for as well. And then we start talking about, okay, so how are we going to get there? This is going to require daily activity, which we talked about in the beginning of this call. This is going to require the consistent activity of exciting people and inviting them to hear more. I call it exciting and inviting. Exciting and inviting people to calls, to coffees, to lunch or events. And I tell them, if you reach out to a few new people every day, you will build a big business over time. You just have to give it the time that it takes. And then we start talking about, okay, who's your hottest prospect on the list? Tell me about them. How can I help you reach out to them? And I'll ask them questions like, tell me about them. Why did you choose them? And this way we can brainstorm ideas of language and how they can reach out. And I tell them that they're going to have to be consistent, reaching out to a few new people on that list every day. Now, the thing is accountability is really important in this business, especially with a new person. So if you can sit down with them and, block out a couple hours to work through the list with them and coach them on their language and help them make some of those calls together, right? It's a little less scary when they know that you're there with them, when they've got you to hold them accountable, when they've got you to give them constructive feedback as well. It's super powerful. But if you can't be there live, what about, blocking out some times to get on a conference line and coaching them through it? But this is something that I really focus in on. So for example, I'll give you an example. I had a gal join my team who was in the pageant world. She was a Mrs. Hawaii. And she also, her husband was a military spouse. And she had, oh gosh, guys, she was so busy when she started. She was moving across the country from Hawaii to DC. She had 2 young kiddos. She was starting a 60-hour-a-week job with a 4 hours worth of train commuting each day. Her husband was deployed. She was doing the business herself. And literally, she only had an hour a day to do the business. That's it, an hour a day. So she would say to me, I have from 9 till 10 o'clock at night when the kids are in bed. I mean, talk about busy, right? Long story short, she ended up earning a six-figure income her first year and an hour a day in the business. But here's the thing. She worked really hard for that hour of time. She was not sitting and refreshing her website on Facebook, her sales report, et cetera, or her sales report online. She was not checking her Facebook messages. She was not sitting and, watching TV. She was not chatting on the phone with friends. She was focused on income producing activity. And so people say, how did she do it? And the most important thing that I can tell you that we did together was every day for that 1 hour a day we were talking. And I was saying to Stacey, okay, who do you have in the military spouse world that we haven't reached out to yet? Tell me about them. Oh, okay, Jen. Jen is a military spouse. Tell her Jen's story and, invite her on a call with me. And we were always talking about that next person. Oh, so-and-so's in the pageant world. Tell her Cindy's story. Tell her my story. Invite her on a call with me. And we were always brainstorming about how to reach out to that person, how to excite them, and how to then invite them to learn more from me. So Stacey, living in DC, I am living in Michigan, and we would literally just leverage calls, or, now that we're building out of the country, Google Hangouts or Skype, whatever the case may be. I know you guys are hip to technology because we're doing it tonight. We love technology when it works, but they were always exciting and inviting, and that's it. When we got on those calls, guys, I was really good about, sharing next steps. I would say something like, okay, so here's what Stacy's going to do next. After I told my story and the company story, I would say, what questions you have? You steer the rest of the conversation. What do you want to learn more about? And we get into a good conversation. And then I would say, what Stacy's going to do next is this. So Stacy's brand new, right? So I kind of have to feed her the idea, the next step, so she knows exactly what to do. And I would say, okay, so she's going to send you some links to review, whatever it is that you send people for, follow-up. What I want you to do is write down all of your questions. And then, you know what? Let's pull up our calendars right now. I don't want to get off the phone before having our next appointment set. I know everybody's busy. What does your schedule look like? Today's Tuesday. What times you got Wednesday and Thursday? Here's my openings. Notice I don't just say, hey, when do you want to get back on the phone, right? Because this time of year, especially moms, they're going to say when kids go back to school. Stay in control of the lead. And we get on the phone for the next call. Okay, what are your questions? I'd answer questions, handle objections, and then I would ask them to join us. We'd love to have you join our fun and fast growing team. Here's why now is a perfect time to join. Talk about whatever programs you have going on, whatever timing in the company, that's great. Create urgency. Ask for them to join you. Okay? They're not interested. You get them on the product. You ask for referrals. So I'm telling my newbies, we're working through their list every single day. Who's your hottest prospect? How can I help you close them? Helping them work through those next steps and literally leading from appointment to appointment with those people and asking on behalf of them for the order, right? And I tell them, now you need to keep calling people. You need to keep scheduling coffee or calls with me. And I'm going to present to them. I'm going to do the heavy lifting, but you've got to get people on the phone. And so we really work through that. Now, a next piece of it, step 3 or part 3 of 5, is really working on launching their business. And, whatever order you guys do it in your system, I don't want to mess you up. So I'm not going to say, this needs to come before, this needs to come after, because my goal is never to create confusion or complexity. It's literally just to hone down, to hone in and drill down on a few skills. Okay. But, when you're at that point in training where when you're talking about launching their business, I talk a little bit about launching their business virtually, online, Facebook, social media, etc., but also launching their business with people that they know in person. So the day that they get their distributor kit, when they get all their goodies, I tell them to send me a text message. Now, here's the thing. I lock arms with my business partners, but I follow the I do when you do, right? So if I tell them, text me when your kit arrives, and they don't, I'm not chasing them to do the business. I'm just not. They need to be coachable. They need to be committed. But when they're ready to work, I'm ready to work with them. I will match their effort and their pace. When they get their kit, doors are officially open. I tell them, what I want you to do is take a picture of you with it. Spread everything out, whatever the case may be, create intrigue. If you've got kids or a family, make it fun, do it together, have everybody hold something up, whatever the case may be. There's a cool app that I like to use on the iPhone store. It's called Rhonna, RHONNA, that allows you to put words on top of pictures. There's another one. I'm going to pull up my phone. It's ABM, A Beautiful Mess. That one's fun too because it allows you to put text on pictures and cool sayings. But, they might put something on the image that says, Mama's got a brand new business. Just something fun to create intrigue. I'll tell you a quick funny story. I had a brand new person on my team who did the picture, and it was a picture of her kids sitting on the box. And she sent it to me, and I was like, can you take one that's a little bit more exciting? Because people in the newsfeed are just going to think that this is your little boy playing on top of a box, right? So they're not going to stop and read it. And they're going to be like, oh, there's so-and-so. She's always posting pictures of her kids. What about pictures of you, for us with our company, each, product that, somebody's holding something up and you guys are smiling or cheering or making surprise, happy faces, whatever the case may be. And then announce your business on Facebook. And be sure to put a link to your site. So Mama's got a brand new business, excited to share it with you, Facebook world. Check it out here. And then there's a link to your new site. And I teach my team, whenever somebody likes or comments on it, now you know that they've seen it. They know what you do. So you can message them privately and say, hey, thanks for supporting my business. I saw your comment, or I saw that you liked my post and it meant a lot to me. I've been meaning to share this with you because I'm expanding my business in your area. I'm looking for referrals. I would love your ideas. What's a good time and number that we could connect? And I'll tell them, that I'll do the same thing. I'll repost their post. I'll announce it on my personal page a few days later, tag them so it shows up again on their page, and give them some more visibility as well. Now, social media is a huge lead generator for me. And I will say we don't have a lot of time because I want to make sure that I give you guys some value in doing a Q&A at the end like I promised. So I do have 2 videos on social media that are totally generic. They're good for any network marketing business. You take the pieces that you can use and the ones that you can, if it doesn't apply to your company, just toss them out. But if you go to it's on my website. I did a bunch of social media training, or you can Google my social media part 1 or my social media part 2 training videos. I give fantastic training on how to leverage social media by sharing success stories, before and afters, testimonials, etc. It's powerful. All right, so now for the official event. What's a simple way to get business and products in front of a lot of people at once? An event. My company is not a party plan company, but I tell people we're going to do a grand opening of your business. It can be fun, a little cocktails and conversations hour, or if it's in the morning, a little coffee and conversations. I'm going to tell my new team member, you need to send out invitations to get a great response and follow up a few days before the event. Okay, I'm ashamed to say, but has anybody watched The Real Housewives before? Okay, me neither, right? Wink, wink. Okay, so here's the thing. You ever notice, oh, darling, come to my party, right? And they're always calling people and giving that personal call to invite people. And that means a lot. So what about calling people a few days before the event and saying something like, of everybody that I've invited, you mean the most to me. I'm so excited to have you. Or, what, I'm going out to the wine store, red or white, what's your preference? Something to really personalize that invitation and really create within your guest's mind that this event is of value to you. This is going to keep them from backing out last minute. Super important. Also encourage them to bring a friend. The more people you have, the more eyes are on what you are doing. Now, if people are local, my new consultant is local, my new distributor is local, I'm going to do the event with them so they can listen and learn. I do the I do, we do, you do. I'll do the first one. We're going to do your second event together. The third one, you're on your own, and I'll give you some feedback. But I can't do your events forever. If they're long distance, we're doing the same presentation via Skype or Google Hangouts. I do these for out-of-state people all the time. It's simple. It's duplicable. It works. They can hook up their computer to an HDMI cord, or they can use Apple TV with loudspeakers so everybody can see me and hear me, and I can see and hear them. It's super simple. And then they're like Vanna White holding up the products as I'm talking about them, okay? So I teach them how to close the event, assume the sales, and follow up as well, because we all know that the fortune is in the follow-up. Now, to keep momentum going, I tell them, ask friends to host events for you. Hey, my business is building in your area. I'd love to meet some new people. Would you host an event for me? Just a one-time thing. I'll give you something for free as a thank you, whether it's a free bottle of your favorite wine, whether it's a little Starbucks card, thanks for helping my business get brewing, whether, it's a product or a discount on your product from you to them. This is a great way to build a customer base really, really fast. Now, step 4, they're going to keep calling. They're going to keep inviting. I tell them, follow my lead on Facebook. Do as I do. Keep reaching out to people on your list. Excite and invite. Excite them by sharing stories of people they can relate to, by sharing your story, by sharing the company story. Invite them on a call with me. And keep doing those events. And I'm going to stay in touch regularly, asking, who's your hottest prospect today? How can I help you close them? And I'm going to help you to plan your events. Step 5 is you keep them plugged in. You keep them plugged into calls, meetings, and events, all the awesome things that Melanie makes available for you, that your company makes available for you, that your team makes available for you. And you have to keep recruiting, and you're available for their income-producing activity. There's 2 things that make money: selling product and promoting the business, right? And so if they're not doing those things, it's busy work. After, you know, they've been in the business for a while, you keep them plugged in and you continue to build your business too. And you have fun with it. You know, you create your own fun experiences for your team as it grows. And this is going to create culture, which is the glue that holds your team together. Friendships are what keep people in the business when there's distractions in business and in life. So look at fun ways to set up, you know, family barbecues for your team, fun parties, recognition events, team get-togethers, or for example, I'm doing a little retreat coming up here at my house. A team who plays together stays together. So as your team grows, your leadership is going to grow. So I want you to really all be thinking about what kind of leader do you want to be? What kind of culture do you want to create? I know Melanie's doing an amazing job in doing it. Remember, whatever you do will duplicate. So create the culture that you desire and your team deserves. Be the leader that you would want to follow. Set the pace, duplicate, lead by example. I always say, guys, never train on anything that you are unwilling to do. You always want to be sure that anytime that the company puts out a promotion, you're going for it. You're the first one to earn it. You're the first one to stretch your stuff across that stage. You're the first name that pops up on that leaderboard. It builds belief for your team. All right. I know that I threw a lot at you and I tried to consolidate what I did, what I could, because I promised that we would go till the top of the hour and we would take some questions. So Melanie, what's the best way for us to do that?
All right, so the best, hit stop broadcasting. All right, so the best way is if you guys go ahead and type it below, and then Sarah, you can just answer the ones that you want if that works for you. And then that way we don't have to go back and forth.
All right, sounds good to me. I will be looking for these questions down below and I will do my best to answer them as they come. Hopefully some of that was helpful. I know you guys are doing all that good stuff anyways, which is awesome. So send in your questions, type them below, and I will be happy to answer them for you. And I don't see any questions. Are you seeing any? Okay, how do you approach people in public? Good question. Okay, so I actually just typed this, or I didn't just type it, but I just talked about this on my blog today, did a little video post and then a quick little message with it. As somebody who's formerly shy, one of my biggest challenges was approaching strangers. I literally thought I was going to die. Here's the great news. I have yet to die doing the business, but I have seen stars for sure. My first time approaching people, I was like a deer in headlights. I did the network marketing verbal vomit all over them. She literally looked at me stunned, and like any good daughter would, I went back in the car and I called my mom, who's my sponsor, and I cried and I said, do I go back there? And she said, don't go back there, get out of there. So I cried the whole way home and I wondered, how will I be successful in network marketing if I'm afraid to talk to people? Logical question, right? So basically got great advice from a few of my mentors who basically said, I posted today on my blog, Larry King, he is the king of questions, right? He's made great money by interviewing people and asking a lot of questions. What's the number one thing people love to talk about? Themselves. What's the easiest thing for people to talk about? Themselves. The easiest thing for you to do is just get good at asking questions. So I'll compliment people. Oh, cute kids. And ask a question. So where do they go to school? Or, you know, if they're working and I can give them a compliment. Thanks for your great service today. Do you love what you do? That's a really good leading question that can definitely get you into deeper discussion there. So check out that post today. But a lot of it is, you know, I go in with this idea of I'm out to make new friends. I may or may not tell them about my business just then and there. But the great news is I can strike up the conversation. I can pull out my smartphone. Hey, are you on Facebook? Let's connect. I can follow up later. Hey, it was great meeting you today. Would love to talk to you more about what I do. Okay? So compliments and questions, those are a big piece. And I won't take too much time on that because I know that we've got a few of them. Let's see here. Okay, and that was, you know, the best way about being an introvert. That for Joanna, Melissa. Time management tips from Paula. Paula, there is a tool that I have found has been very helpful. I'm in no way affiliated with them, but it's called timetrade.com. I've also done a blog on that. So if you search my blog, there's a little search bar. You can just type Time Trade in. It has allowed me to create a schedule. So this way my team knows when I'm available. I know when I'm going to be doing my income producing activity as well, but also make sure that I am taking time for my family and those that I love, because time is the currency of relationships. And at the end of the day, if you're knocking down your reason why, which was the first reason why you started doing this in the first place, for more freedom with your family, then man, what are we doing it for? So make sure you've got a good balance as well. All right, let's see. Dealing with rejection. I love Sylvester Stallone has a great quote, and it talks something about, and this is just paraphrasing. He said, rejection to him is like somebody blowing a bugle in his ear and telling him to just keep going. It's all about the way that you view rejection, guys. And for myself, I'm going to give you a good analogy that I share with my team. Okay, so I'm a former kindergarten teacher, and let's say that I brought a room of 100 people into the room, and I asked all of them, okay, I've got $1 million here, $1 million salary, if you will teach kindergarten and first grade for a year. Who wants to do it? Okay, so here's the thing. I've actually asked that question before in trainings, and it's such a great illustration. You don't even have to say I have $1 million. Okay, I've got a kindergarten teacher available, the kindergarten position available tomorrow. Who will take it? And 2 or 3 people raise their hands. And so what am I going to do? Start crying and feel rejected? No. I'm going to realize that that just isn't for everyone. And starting a network marketing business is not for everyone. I want you to think about it like a waiter or waitress pouring a cup of coffee. Some say yes and some say no. And when people say no to the coffee, she doesn't get all rejected and quit her job and start crying. She keeps pouring a cup of coffee. Pour a cup of coffee to every single person that you meet, and realize they might say no, but you can always revisit them later, just like she can revisit their table later. Okay. Let's see here. So the next question is, Samantha, my blog is sarahrobbins.com. It's actually Sarah with an H, the good old fashioned way, Robbins with 2 B's.com. All right. So how do you reach out to people outside of your bubble? I have a Facebook page, blogs, etc. So there's so many different ideas and so many awesome ways to talk to people. My greatest advice is go where the people are. So if you literally don't know who to talk to that day, get out of your house. And I'm being totally serious here. So what about people who provide you services? Hey, thanks for your great service. I'm looking for people like you for my business. What do? Share with them your little elevator pitch, right? Your little speech about what you do. Asking people to host events for you. Again, I'm expanding a business in your area. I would love to meet new people. Would you be willing to host some of your friends as a one-time thing? And I'll tell them more about what I do, more about the products, more about the business, whatever the case may be. That's a great way. How about networking, both formally and informally, right? Any event that you're invited to, go. When you can get out of your house, go where the people are. Go to formal networking events as well. I talk about that in my blog today, about how I was terrified to do that. I thought I was going to die, and I definitely didn't die. And I got a lot of great leads that way, because professional people are there to get and give referrals. Social media is a huge lead generator for me, just to be totally honest. But I share a lot of other ideas there as well. Okay, I'm trying to go through these as fast as I can to make sure I get as many as I can here. All right, so let's see. Time management. We talked about that already. Okay. How do you separate marketing time from family time? You know, that's just something that you really have to, I think communication is just so very important. First of all, I will say this, and this was very helpful for me as I was starting my business, because I see a lot of people are talking about this, even Brittany, you know, time management when you've got a family and all of those things. Again, I'm going to say this and I want you to hear it. Time is the currency of relationships. You will never, ever hear me train on sacrifice as it relates to your family. I believe in making exchanges where you need to. So what does that mean? Not watching the Real Housewives on TV. What does that mean? Not having those long conversations with friends on the phone. What does that mean? Setting hours of operation and showing your team when you're available and not working outside of available hours via something like, time trade. Again, I don't have time to share that with you now, so you'll have to go to my blog and Google what it is. But, making sure that you set boundaries for your team, but also have very focused time, like the Stacys of the world that I told you about that said, I know that I have from 9 to 10 o'clock at night, but man, let's rock out as many calls as possible over the next hour of time. When I started, I had great communication with my husband, and I said, you know what? There was a period of time I was balancing a full-time teaching job. I was balancing his business. I was balancing my network marketing business. I was taking college credits to keep up with my teaching degree. I was volunteering. You name it, I did it. We were busy. But I said, this is really important to me. And I shared with him some of my goals. And I asked him for support. Sometimes it's just so important that you have that communication right then and there. And we established hours of operation together. For example, tomorrow night, it's going to be 90 degrees. And here in Michigan, those nights are hard to come by. So guess what? I'm not working. And I've totally committed the time to him, to our family, and to our friends, to be out on the boat, to be having some fun together. That's what life is about. But again, you have to be willing to make short-term exchanges for the long-term rewards. You can do anything for a short period of time to produce the long-term financial freedom that your family desires and that you deserve. So does that mean that I'm not working hard? No, I'm working really hard. But I'm very planned and purposeful about the hours that I'm putting into the business. I'm talking to people about the products. I'm talking to people about the opportunity. I'm helping my team members close people as well. I'm not sitting on Facebook. Guys, when I go on Facebook, I literally go on to post an update. I check my inbox messages and I'm off. I'm not sitting on, social media and just scrolling through the news feed all day, every day. I'm just not doing it. I don't watch TV at all. I mean, literally, when I was saying the Real Housewives, I think I've caught a few episodes, but truly, I mean, my TV's off all day. I'm not chit-chatting on the phone. I want to do my business, get done with what I need to do, and then Melanie says, I never watch TV. So I'm literally sitting here and I'm doing what matters most. But again, still making time for the people that matter most. Now, if your husband says to you, let's see. All right, let's see. Who was it? I'm trying to go back and see her name. If Rebecca, your husband says, like, absolutely not, like, we need to have a time to turn it off, well, guess what? You're going to be respectful of that as well, because I'm a big believer in honor. And when you honor people, I truly believe that there's so much to be said about honor. You, in turn, will be very blessed in everything that you do and everything that you put your hands to. It will prosper. So you have to honor your parents. You have to honor your spouse. You have to honor the time with your family, okay? Again, you're not going to sacrifice your reason why to get to your reason why and then realize at the end of the day that your kids and your husband have just about had it with you, right? And so there's a great way to create balance. I'm a big believer in it, and in making healthy exchanges to be able to put time into what matters most. Your business can be up there as well. I'll answer this last question and then we'll sign off, because I know I've kept you guys later than you expected, and I so appreciate your time tonight, and again, your patience and my challenges with the technology in the beginning. So what does my typical day look like? It's an interesting question. It has definitely evolved over time. Most people that are successful in network marketing, I would say 99% of them, they start with full-time jobs or full-time commitments, whether they're full-time parents, which we know is the hardest job in the world, or whether they've got a full-time, a 9-to-5 that they're going to every single day. And so when I started, it was literally a few hours after school, because, you all know that teachers don't work from 8 till 3, right? I mean, they work 7 in the morning till 7 at night, especially the new ones. It was evenings, it was weekends, it was the occasional time off. And literally I was taking my time trade calendar and I was blocking open the times and allowing my team to book me for 3-way calls, meetings, or events. And then in any of the open spaces, I was doing my own prospecting, my own team building, and starting those new people. I would say about 80% of my time is spent prospecting myself, starting new people, and the other 20% is working with the people who are doing the income producing activity. And how do I know that they're in activity? I watch their feet and not their mouths. So I'm going to say it again. I watch their feet and not their mouths. I'm not working with the people that are telling me that they're going to make me a millionaire, because trust me, they say it all the time. I'm working with the people that have put appointments on my calendar. They know how to easily book me. They know how to easily get a hold of me. Those are the people that I'm working with. I'm not chasing anybody to do the business. The first 30 days of a new distributor's business, man, it's critical. So I'm working very closely with them. After that, they know how to plug into systems. They know how to reach me for income producing activity. And I match their effort and their pace, and I keep looking for new leaders to get off to a great start, just using some of the tips and techniques that I shared with you tonight. So with that, guys, I hope anything that I shared with you, hope you got a little nugget out of tonight. I will just say I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you again for having me on. Melanie, thanks team for having me on. You guys rock. I love you. God bless ya. And back over to your fearless leader.
Thank you so very, very much.